Welcome back to First News at 6, and we've got a special edition of sports this evening. We're live at the Region 4 Rumble in Mandan, where all 10 nine-man teams from Region 4 are playing 12 hours of football. They started at 10 this morning. They're through 3 games. Game 4 is going on behind me, and it's been a party all day. Joining us live at the Sturgeon Sports Complex is JT Faribault and Zach Keenan. Let's get it started with JT. JT, he spoke with some teams from the earlier games this morning. JT, what do you have for us?
Hey Jeff, I talked to Kidder County's head coach Dave Silvernagel this morning following their game against New Salem Almont. He told me how much of a help it was opening his season against the defending state champions. He also told me how he'd be sticking around a little bit today to do some scouting on some future Region 4 opponents that he'd be playing in the near future.
Well, when you play a quality program like that, you get a good measuring stick for where you're at, okay? We found out where we're lacking, where we need to get better. There's some areas that we had some positives too, but for the most part, we just, I think the line of scrimmages is where we just got to get better. I mean, and some of that is just experience. Well, obviously I want to scout the teams we play next 2 weeks. I mean, we got Richardson next week and Beach the week after, so those are the teams I'm going to focus on, but I'm definitely going to keep tabs on all of them. You get to see teams live, you get to see a lot more than you do on tape. Tape is just a short excerpt. You get X's and O's, but then here you get to see what's that kid doing away from the football. So it's, I mean, I'm going to be here all day.
Jeff, it's been such an exciting day here. I know we've got more to share, so I'll go ahead and toss it back to you.
Yeah, thanks, JT. Now, this is the first time that this region has done something of this magnitude, bringing all 10 teams to the same place to play on the same day. Beach Buccaneer head coach Mike Zier, he's a known advocate for what sports does for students in schools, and he likes what Region 4 is currently doing.
Well, the best thing that I like about it is the scheduling aspect of it, where you're guaranteed 9 games. Where we live out on an island, it's hard for us to get games unless they have to play us. So I like that. And then the other thing that's kind of nice is that every region game matters, right? Every game matters. You don't have any non-conference, non-region games, so they're all big games.
One thing about an event like this, it takes a team of people to put it together. Flasher Athletic Director Brian Newsma, he played a big role in getting this going, and our Zach Keenan is with Brian right now. Zach, can you tell me, has Brian taken 3 seconds to stop and take a breath?
Jeff, there's 10 teams playing 5 games in one day. Of course he hasn't had a second to stop and catch his breath. Brian, thanks so much for joining us here. Where did this idea first come about?
Yeah, thanks for being here. This idea kind of came out of the High School Activities Association when they did some realignment, and they merged 2 regions, and we thought, what a great showcase. We've got 10 teams in a region, 9 games. Let's kick off the season, Bismarck-Mandan area, kind of meet in the middle for our teams. And we presented to the region. They were all on board with it.
Takes a lot of people to make a day like today work. How have each school contributed today?
Absolutely. You know, huge shout out to the administration and the communities that make up our region. They've all pitched in with having chain gang workers, ticket takers, clock keepers. So it was all hands on deck, and so far it's been a great day.
Now, you look at a day like today, obviously a win would be great for Grant County Flasher on the first game. What kind of things outside of that are you looking for in this team today?
You know, you want to see growth. You want to see the kids come out and compete and try their best. They make a mistake, that's fine, but make sure it's 100%. And we're looking forward to a great contest. Richardson, Taylor, Hebron, great coach team, and so we're looking to come out swinging.
Now, obviously, you're 3.5, we'll say, games into today. What are some things that you'd change if you were to do this again next year?
You know, a lot of detail went into the planning, and so I think everything's run pretty smoothly. But there's a few little details that we can examine, and we've gotten some feedback throughout the day. We're hoping to make this an annual event. We've had a great turnout. Thanks for the great coverage, and it's been a good day of football.
Same time next year. Sounds like a plan to me. Brian Newsma, thanks so much for joining us today. It's the Grant County Flasher Storm up against the Richardson Taylor Hebron Raiders. Tonight, kickoff in just about an hour and a half. We'll have the highlights on First News at 10. Jeff?
Thanks, Zach, and thanks, Brian, for taking a moment to take a break and talk with us. I mentioned 3 games are done. New Salem Almont started their title defense with a big win. The Imperials win a low-scoring contest, and the Lions and the top the Nighthawks in the middle game. South Border and Beach are currently just ending the first quarter. As I said that, the horn sounded. 29-0 South Border is up over the Buccaneers. The day wraps up with, as Zach and Brian mentioned, the Storm and the Raiders. Now, it is hard not to love a day like today. Outside of a little bit wind and a little bit of haziness, we couldn't have asked for better weather and spirits all around the day. We're going on hour 9 of this, and still there are smiles and fun, and everything is just absolutely fantastic from the Mysterion Sports Complex. We'll be back in studio on First News at 10. Tune in then for highlights from, as I mentioned, 12 hours of football. That's all from Mandan. Emmeline and Jacob wrap up First News at 6 after the break.